historic landmark, and I bet that they got like, you know, lots of grants and whatnot from the city. And I think, you know, I mean, look who's in jail right now. You know, Justin French. They're going after that guy, Bill Jefferson. You know, because they take these historic money and then they run these scams. But they're all.
What are their names again? French.
Justin French, who was partners with David Gamino.
Oh, and who else?
And Bill Jefferson. They're going after him now. And it's like all these scams. I mean, if somebody really carefully watches, like a Richmond City Council meeting, all these scams will be on display, and it'll be written in a language that most people can't comprehend or decode. But it's about, you know, like when they put through a couple weeks ago on some sort of expedited agenda item to give away, you know, a bond, you know, for construction. And they say, oh, the taxpayers aren't going to pay it. Yes, they are.
All the time.
It's a bond. It's a bond on the labor of the people. So, and then they'll give away something to like Featherstone Properties, where they're going to take, in a partnership with Bank of America, and also in a partnership with Richmond Redevelopment Housing Authority. And basically they take, you know, get these historic credits, they line their pockets, they get tax abatements that worth more than the actual money is gonna even get. So right off the bat, they're saving millions of dollars in property, and everything is abated anyways.
That's right.
You know, like I was saying before, I think this is the very key thing. If nothing else gets through to the people that I talk to, I want them to simply think about this conundrum, this riddle. If the people disapprove of how the government operates at such a high rate as it does, and then the people comprehend that it's the government and City Hall or the federal government or some entity that can't be challenged or beaten, and that jams them up every step of the way. Why are these people so willing to, like, you know, say that they think that the government is out to spruce up the neighborhood? That's never the case. They're never out to spruce anything up. They're only out to line their own pockets. Because all the money is fake, and the people who control the money everywhere, they control the money here in the city of Richmond too. So when you know, when all of this scam is going on with jackleg preacher Dwight Jones and his what's his
Pastor G.
What's Southside? What's his thing?
Pastor G with the rock.
Oh well, yeah, the city. Okay. Teddy, you get me off on subject.
I'm sorry.
You know, but you know, it is interesting that you mentioned Pastor G and the fact that social services is keeping abused children knowingly in every sort of abusive situation imaginable. So, and then at the same time, the city police and the city government and the city social services, they're all the same thing, and they all work together, just like, you know, they're not separate. School board and city council, economic development authority, they all go, you know, they all go to the same parties, if you know what I mean, you know. And so they all kept children knowingly in an abusive situation, and not only they kept them there and sent them there, and they paid. So that's a child prostitution ring, and it's child slavery, because do you think if these children were being abused that they would want to stay in these situations?
Nope.
So kidnapping against will, and that happens. It's going on in Chesterfield County.
And
just look at
County,
you know,
all around the world.
Just look at you know, there's cases going through the Virginia Supreme Court right now, where there are homes where there are experimentations being done on children against their will, who are being unlawfully taken by counties like Arlington County out of jurisdiction, out of state, and putting them in Chesterfield County, in Goochland County, and drugging these children against their will. And if the children don't participate in these drug experiments, then their privileges are taken away. And you know what? This is tied up in court. Nobody is disputing that this stuff is going on. It's one jurisdiction of the United States taking children. But then you juxtapose that to the city of Richmond, and what do you have? The city of Richmond, along with religious leaders, and if you want to see homes, look at the home that Pastor G lived in. That's a drug gang. And I've got my opponent, C.T. Woody, on camera saying all the positions that he's been in the police, what he calls law enforcement, what I call the opposite of law enforcement. Constitutional degradation is what he does. But he says exactly what he does. And that's why when he goes on camera, like last night, he leans forward and he speaks slowly in these scripted words that a parrot could remember, because when he talks on his own, he tells too much of the truth. And he says, I've held every position in the police department. And then he lists one, drug gang, because who do you think the top drug gang is in this city? Who's smuggling heroin into the jail? Woody's staff. That's right. Proven. Woody even brings it up and says other people did it when it was his staff that did it.
That's right.
So anyways, child prostitution rings being run by the city, and the proof of that is that social services was knowingly keeping children in abusive situations.
Cut.